today, wait, what the heck? I don't know why I started like that. That is not my intro. Oh, jeez. Okay. Hey there, I'm Rose. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today is our first of 3 Halloween-themed episodes I'm making this October. Today we are doing top 10 spooky and scary movies to watch on Halloween. I myself am partial to scary movies on Halloween. Horror is my favorite genre. I always watch at least one horror movie on Halloween. Last year I watched 2, and they're both on the list because they're great. Number 1, our first scary movie, Train to Busan. I just watched this movie for the first time like a week ago. But I'm still including it on the list because, like, it blew me away. Like, it's not just a new movie to me, it's, like, new in general. It just came out 2 years ago. Oh my gosh, 3 years ago. It's 2019. Oh my gosh. It came out 3 years ago. I don't know what's happening to my brain today. But it's so scary. Not the scariest movie I've ever seen, but definitely up there. Like, I wanted to include horror movies on this list, not necessarily because they're like the best horror movies, although this one is pretty awesome, but like the ones that are the scariest and or will get you into the Halloween spirit the best. And Train to Busan will definitely do that for you. This is a good movie to watch on Halloween night when it's pitch black outside. Turn off the lights in your room, get in bed, turn this movie on, and you will be terrified. I don't really want to say much about the movie because I went into it knowing like little to nothing about like the plot and everything. Any clips from it, I'd never seen any like pictures of it. I just watched it because I found it on Netflix, and it is so good if you go into it not knowing anything. It's definitely scarier if you don't know what the zombies are like, because this is a zombie movie, but the zombies aren't your traditional zombies. They are super freaky. Like, I watched this movie in broad daylight, and it still, like, scared me really bad. Oh my gosh. And there's a really good, like, human element to it, too. It's not just, like, the storyline with the zombies. There's also, like, a little side plot about the 2 main characters who are father and daughter, and it's, like, very emotional, and, yeah, it works really well on both fronts, so I highly recommend Train to Busan. Number 2, our first spooky movie is Coraline. This is one of the first movies that really scared me when I was a little kid. It's a movie for kids, but it's pretty scary. I feel like there should be, like, a subgenre of horror that's like children's horror, because like Coraline is definitely targeted towards kids, but it's legitimately terrifying. So this is like a very good middle ground, like right between like the spooky movie and the scary movie, but I put more on the side of spooky because, like, if you're an adult watching Coraline, I don't think you would think it's scary, but you'll definitely still enjoy it. It's fantastically made. It's amazing stop-motion animation. Like, there's a few sequences where, like, the colors and the movements will, like, blow you away. I think it's... Yeah, I think I can confidently say that it's my favorite stop-motion animation. And I think the main character and her character arc is, like, very relatable. And she still goes on this otherworldly adventure while still remaining, like, very grounded. So, yeah, this is, like, the perfect movie for adults who want to watch something spooky on Halloween but don't like horror, or some older kids who want to watch a scary movie but aren't allowed to watch horror. This is, like, I really cannot think of a more perfect movie for those 2 situations. Number 3, The Conjuring. If you've been watching me for a while, you know this movie was on my top 5 favorite movies list. But it's not just one of my favorite movies. I also think it's one of the best movies to watch on Halloween. It's a pretty run-of-the-mill haunted house that family is moving into movie. But I just feel like it's so much more well done than other movies in the genre. And I feel like that might be because it kind of popularized haunted house movies. It's based on a true story, which automatically makes any movie scarier, you know that. And it takes place in the state I live in, so that's super freaky. Like, I could take a short drive and go see the house if I really wanted to, which is terrifying. I don't want to be anywhere near this place, because when you watch the movie, it starts off slower, and the scares start building up, and the tension starts building up, and then things just go crazy. There are several ghosts and demons in this house. One of the main characters gets possessed, and it's pretty horrific. Especially, I'm not sure if I should say this or not, I'm not sure if it's a spoiler, but I'm just gonna say it. Especially the scene where they're exorcising her. Oh my gosh, guys. That scene, very good to watch with a group of friends on Halloween, or like put it on at a Halloween party. Because it's not a movie you necessarily have to pay a lot of attention to, but the acting is great, the cinematography is great, and there are some amazing scares that will really get to you. I gasped aloud multiple times while watching The Conjuring. Number 4, it's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. This is, I'm not sure why I put it so low on the list. Like, this isn't in any particular order, but I'm starting to feel like I should have saved this for later on. I think this is the perfect, like, non-horror movie to watch on Halloween, because it's, like, a very wholesome movie. Anyone in the family will enjoy when you watch it together, and it's so adorable. It's really cute, guys. If you haven't seen this since you were a little kid, you should rewatch it. Because, like, it's still enjoyable, like, as an older person, but it's just, like, a timeless movie that you can enjoy forever and ever and watch it so many times. I mean, there's not really much to say about It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, just, it's amazing. You have to watch it. And if you have kids, you are a kid, or you watched it when you were a kid and don't really remember it and want to see what it's all about. I feel like that was worded really weirdly, but whatever. Moving on. Number 5, Poltergeist. This was one of my first horror movies. I don't remember what my first horror movie was, but I feel like this was one of the first few I watched. It's probably, okay, this is a little controversial opinion here, but this is my favorite 70s, 80s horror movie. I know that that's like a big time period for horror, and there's like a few people think of when they think of horror from the 70s and 80s, but for me, it is Poltergeist. If you haven't seen it, watch the original one, please. The new one's good, but like, nothing can beat the original. I'm not one of those people who's like a super stickler for like watching the original and like, you have to hate every remake, but the original Poltergeist is so great. Oh my gosh, I cannot even stress to you enough. This movie is just a fantastic example of filmmaking from that late 20th century period that most people agree is like the golden age of horror. A very supernatural heavy movie, and it definitely relies a lot on those supernatural elements with all spirits that are being encountered by the characters throughout the movie, but it still feels like something that could like happen to you, which I think is the perfect recipe for a scary movie. And I think we can all agree that little girl saying "they're here" is like one of the scariest things that has ever happened. Like, I don't think anyone has ever watched that scene and not gotten chills. Number 6, Ghostbusters. This, like Coraline, is a good movie for like older kids and families with older kids. It's a really funny movie, definitely more on the side of comedy than spooky, but definitely worth a watch. I mean, it's about 4 scientists who are trying to stop ghosts and demons from taking over New York City. Like, what a fun premise. And it's like a very enjoyable, like, movie that won't scare you too bad, although there are a few scenes in there that could get you if you're more sensitive. So I really like it because of that. I feel like it does a good job of towing the line between comedy and horror. I really think Ghostbusters is like the perfect example of the balance you should be trying to have between comedy and horror in a comedy horror movie. Number 7, The Shining. This is one of the movies I watched last year on Halloween. I watched this at night after I got home from trick-or-treating, and it's another slow burn, but definitely worth the wait when you get to the climax of the movie. There's like weird stuff going on throughout the whole movie. Like right off the bat, before anything even really happens, there's just this like ominous like tension in the air that can't really be explained. It's just really well directed, and Stanley Kubrick like really knows how to get you on the edge of your seat without doing like anything like overtly scary, like a jump scare or anything like that. And I like the amount that they like delve into the supernatural side of this movie. Like, none of it is explained. You don't know why the hotel is the way it is. You don't know why the little boy is the way he is. You kind of know why the dad is the way he is. I feel like that's the most explained out of all of them, but I feel like leaving a lot to the imagination instead of like going into this whole part of the movie where they explain the backstory of the Overview Hotel. Is that what it's called? I thought it was called the Overview Hotel, but now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm like, that really sounds incorrect. But whatever. The movie doesn't go into really any backstory. It just gives you like little clues peppered throughout the movie, so it's really fun to like watch again and again and like dissect it and see like what you missed the first time, because you can go back and see there's like clues for stuff that happens and like why things are the way they are, but that you still don't have any definitive answers. And the ending is really insane. It seriously gets you thinking. You're like, what the heck did I just watch? Hate that, but love it. Number 8, Halloweentown. This is a Disney Channel original movie, and okay, here's another unpopular opinion. I don't think many Disney Channel original movies are good. I think the majority of them are awful, but Halloweentown is one of the few that I really, really like. The sequels, not so much, but that first Halloweentown is so magical. It's about a girl who like finds out that there's like this secret town called Halloweentown where like everyone is like monsters and witches, and it's just like a festive Halloween themed town, like with supernatural like residents living in it. And she finds out that her and her grandma are both witches from this like long line of witches in their family that come from Halloweentown. And it's like so cool. Get like when you're a kid and you're watching this movie, you're seeing like someone like around your age getting to like learn about this like magical world and getting to experience it, and like having to go on a mission and like save the day. It's like, it's a pretty simple plot because it's a kids movie, but it works well. It's not by any means a stupid movie. Like, it seems like it, okay? I know Halloweentown seems like a stupid movie, but sit down and watch it. It's great. There's really nothing more that I could say about it. It's just great. Halloweentown is a very special movie that'll always have a place in my heart. Number 9, what is, in my opinion, the best horror movie to watch on Halloween, Halloween. I watched this movie in the morning on Halloween last year, and I really loved it. They're one of those movies that's like some solid proof that you don't need lots of blood and jump scares and music stings to scare your audience. It is very much like a tense movie that will creep you out when you're watching it, if you're watching it Halloween night, because the movie takes place on Halloween and it goes through this girl's day as she is going to school, and then later she babysits, and the babysitter being stalked by a serial killer is kind of a cliche in horror, but this is the movie that started that cliche. It was not cliche back when Halloween came out. It was new and revolutionary, and I'm not sure if it created or popularized the slasher genre, but one of those two. But even though it started this huge trend of slasher movies, it's really not like what you think of when you think of slasher movies, because there's, like I said, not much blood. There's lots of killing, but you don't really see blood much throughout the movie, because the movie doesn't need it. It's scary, relying solely on the dynamic between the protagonist and the antagonist, and just the general atmosphere of the movie. And a really cool thing about Halloween is that in the backgrounds of a lot of the scenes, you can see the killer standing and watching the main character, Laurie. But there's not many scenes where it's really overt that he's watching her. It's you watch the movie, then you rewatch it later, and if you look really closely, you can see Michael Myers in the background of a bunch of scenes, and it's so scary because he was there the whole time, the entire movie, from start to finish. Michael Myers is there, even when you don't know he's there, which makes you think what if there's a killer in my life and I don't notice him because I'm not paying attention, just like when you're watching the movie and both you, the audience, and Laurie aren't paying attention, and you don't know that Michael Myers is always watching. And number 10, The Addams Family. It's about a family who is very dark and macabre, and they love anything scary or creepy. It really gets you in the mood for Halloween, but it's not by any means a scary movie. You can watch it if you're very sensitive to horror, and you'll be fine. And you can let your older kids watch it without having to worry about them. Because there's nothing very inappropriate in it, and like I said, it's not scary. It's just a good spooky movie, and it's really funny. It's not the same vein of comedy horror as Ghostbusters is, because it leans much more heavily on dark humor as opposed to traditional humor that you would expect to see in a popular comedy movie. And I love Wednesday Addams. I feel like I am Wednesday. Wednesday is me. People tell me I remind them of Wednesday Addams a lot, actually. That's one of the reasons why I watched The Addams Family, because so many people have told me that I am exactly like Wednesday Addams. So I watched it and I was like, wow, yes I am. Those are my 10 recommendations of the best movies to watch on Halloween. I hope you watch at least one of these, if not on Halloween, then in the week leading up to it, because they're great. If you've already seen every movie on this list, rewatch some of them, because these are all very rewatchable movies. So that's where I'll be wrapping things up today. Remember to come back next Friday for another new video from me. And remember that God loves you very much, and I do too. Bye!